Good morning, class, and welcome. I am Mr. Ontiveroz, and today we will be talking about quadratic equations and how to find real solutions by factoring, taking square roots, completing the square, and applying the quadratic formula. To factor a quadratic equation takes practice. Look at the polynomial equation. You have a variable x and a constant at the end. The constant does not have a variable. Now we will look at the equation x squared plus 5x plus 6. In order to factor this problem, you need to find factors of 6 that have the sum of 5 and have the product of 6. List out the factors of 6. Turns out 3 and 2 have a product of 6 and a sum of 5. These factors will work. You must know that a polynomial is formed by multiplying two factors. Write down your parentheses and the x inside at the front. Get the two factors. Write the 2 inside the first parentheses. Write the 3 inside the other parentheses. Since they are both positive, we are adding the factors to the x's. When you multiply them together to check your answer, you set each parenthesis equal to 0. Solve for x. You should have a final answer of x equals -2 and x equals -3. Now we will talk about how to solve using square roots. We look at the problem x squared minus 4 equals 0. Isolate the variable by adding 4 to each side of the equation. You now have x squared equals 4. Now to get rid of the square root, you take the root of each side. You now have x equals plus or minus 2. It is plus or minus because x squared could be either one. Another problem you may face is an equation like this, x squared plus 6x minus 7. To find the solutions, you need to do as you would normally do. Isolate the variable by moving the constant over to the other side of the equation. You now have x squared plus 6x equals 7. To find the real solutions, you must complete the square. To do this, you must take half of the ax term, in this case 6x. You have a 3, take that term and square it. Now you have a 9. Take this constant and add it to both sides of the equation. X squared plus 6x plus 9 equals 7 plus 9. Now get your new polynomial and convert it to squared form. You now have x plus 3 squared equals 16. Take the square root of both sides. You now have x plus 3 equals plus or minus 4.
Solve for x with positive 4 and -3. You will have a final answer of -7 and positive 1. The last way of finding real solutions is the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula can be explained as the equation right there. Let's take a look at the polynomial x squared plus 3x minus 4. Yes, it does factor, and you will get solutions -4 and 1. In the quadratic formula is a way to find the solutions without factoring. Plug in your numbers where they belong from the equation before. Simplify what is inside the square root. Take the square root of 25. You will now have two equations due to the square root of 25, which is plus or minus 5. Simplify both fractions. You will have solutions -4 and 1. Here is a video to get more of a visual to understand the quadratic formula. So we have went over how to find solutions for quadratic equations. Here's everything else we went over too. They can get more complex, but we have gone over the simple ways to get you started on finding